So I'm a little bit slow in posting this video. This was shot back in mid-April, and in this video I planted a little over 30 persimmon trees, as well as done some chainsaw work with edge feathering and reducing some of the competition on the edge of these fields where I'll be planting some trees. But before I get into that, I want to discuss how we got here. In a previous video I discussed my deer habitat management plan and how I developed that. I then went out scouting to figure out what part of that plan I want to implement. Following that, I planted several chestnut trees. We planted about 50 of those. Did some habitat work with edge feathering several fields, and most recently I posted a video about some persimmon trees I planted, and this is a continuation of that, as well as some chainsaw work. And I'll have one more video left of tree plantings following this. So in this particular spot, what I'm trying to do is cut down a number of trees, and some of these I want to hinge cut, and some of them I'm just cutting down. I'm not too concerned if a lot of these survive. You know, if they do, great. It'll give some security to deer and rabbit. And a lot of these where I've cut, I've been surprised at how quickly the rabbits have taken over and used these brush piles on the edge of fields. So that's been quite a surprise and a good thing. But here, you know, like I mentioned, I'm not too concerned if these trees survive. My main goal in this particular spot is I want to reduce the competition for sunlight, water, and nutrients for these trees that I'm going to be planting in this field. And you know, if we can, I'm going to hinge cut some of these and have them lay either perpendicular to the field or parallel to it. And you know, I don't want to block off the entire field, but you know, have some spots where they could come out. Today I'm not going to be able to do the entire field. I'm just going to be able to do sections, because you know, this is a long day of planting trees. You know, it's about, I think we spent about 8 hours this day planting, so you know, I wasn't able to do as much chainsaw work as needed. But you know, I've done quite a bit in the past here, and this time here is mainly about planting the trees. So if you watch here, I do have somebody with me helping me. It's not always the case, but when I do the chainsaw work, you know, safety first, and always remember to wear your protective gear, wear your helmet, your chaps, your ear protection, that sort of thing, and gloves help as well. So at any rate, this should give you an idea of what it looks like in this area. That's mostly cedar trees. There was a little bit of black locust, and there is a lot of hickory trees. Now, hickories are good for squirrels, but they're not necessarily great for anything else. They do have a little bit of lumber value though, so you don't want to cut down trees that have good lumber value unless you're strictly for habitat management. But there's not any here, so it's basically all just cedars and that, and they make good cover. So I'll finish up cutting these. We will get these planted, and I'll show you kind of a drive-by of all these trees planted along the edge, and then we'll go to the next spot. I'll show you those, and then we'll finish up in the last spot where I planted. So there's just 4 persimmon trees planted in this particular spot. I did remove some autumn olive trees and then a couple scrub trees. And then in this last spot, there is a mix of chestnut and persimmon in this area. And that wrapped up this day. I think we got in the neighborhood of 33 planted altogether, and did some chainsaw work as well, so it was a productive day.